Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. I am Cassandra Terry, along with my team, my partners, my brother and sister in Christ, my friends, my family, Denise and Brian. We are here and excited to share another day with you. Today is Wake Up Wednesday. And on Wake Up Wednesday, we talk about the power of intentionality. And remember, this week is focused on the theme of visualization. So today, specifically, we will talk about expanding our intentionality with visualization. I am excited to be able to be with you guys. I wasn't sure yesterday if we were going to have to do a replay, but things have worked out and we are able to have our regularly scheduled time together. And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm happy about that. I love to start my day with you guys and get my mind bright and focused and ready to do what it is that I need to do. And today it is all about intentionality and becoming even more intentional by using the power of visualization. Hello, Lita. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I can tell that from your profile picture exactly where I know you from. So last weekend, on Saturday before the Vision Board party, I started my day doing a keynote address. My sister is a part of a non-collegiate sorority, Theta. Oh, my brain! It's early in the morning. Theta Alpha Psi. There it is. Theta Alpha Psi. And we had a time. We talked about mad. We talked about the difference between being mad and being angry, and how you can use mad to accelerate your journey towards the life that you desire. Being motivated, being accountable, and being disciplined. And that crowd, those ladies were all in. They participated and engaged at such a high level and showed me so much love after it was over. And I noticed yesterday that there was at least 3 of you guys that several of you have followed me since the event, like you said you would, and I'm so excited about that. And a couple of you were with me yesterday, and Lita is the first one in the room today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell Tiffany y'all beating her to the space, so she better come on. If you don't tell Alita, I will. I'm gonna report in to her that her team is showing up and getting things done. Her sisterhood. Speaking of sisterhood, there's my sister Alicia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. We are going to be getting started momentarily. I am excited about today's topic. Alicia says she's probably sleeping. Yeah, we are some night owls in our family, so I'm not surprised if she's sleeping. I will definitely hear from her when she watches the replay, because she's gonna hear me using her name in vain, and that never goes over well. That never goes over well. But little sis, I'm just kidding. I'm in a good mood. I'm happy to be with y'all. So cut the old lady some slack when you wake up, girl. Cut me a little slack. So we are all about intentionality today and expanding that intentionality with visualization. What do I mean by that? Well, when we talk about being intentional first, we talk about being all in and focused and determined and purposeful in our actions. We are doing what we're doing for a reason. We have a clear outcome, a clear goal, someplace we're trying to get, and we're locked in on that, and we're pouring our resources into that and making sure that the things that we're doing are moving us towards those goals. We're not creating obstacles for ourselves. When we're intentional, we get out of our own way and we keep our eye on the prize, and we move with purpose from point A to point B and beyond, to make sure that we're making good decisions, right? We're making the decisions that are going to help us get where it is we want to go. We make hundreds of decisions every day. right? What time am I getting up? What am I going to wear? What am I going to have for breakfast? Am I going to get in any exercise? Who am I going to spend my time with? Where am I going throughout my day? How am I going to get there? Those decisions are actual decisions that we're making all day long. But because we make them every single day, we typically don't have them in our consciousness, right? We make them kind of on autopilot because they feel like that. They're repetitive. The emotions that we go through day in and day out. So we don't put a lot of thought into them. But what that means is that whatever we're producing now, as long as we keep doing the same things, we're going to produce more of the same. So you have to check in with yourself every once in a while and going, is the crop that I'm harvesting, is it really what I intended to plant? Is it what I want? Am I growing apples and I intended, right, to grow vegetables? You have to be really clear about the seeds that you drop. And you know the seeds that you drop by the harvest that you get. So while we're going through life unconsciously, using our subconscious to plant this garden, it becomes very, very clear what it is that we've planted. How? Are weeds springing up? A lot of obstacles? Or are we growing fruit and we really wanted vegetables? That means you need to stop. You need to check in with yourself and you need to get very, very clear about the garden you actually want to plant and make sure those are the seeds that you're sprinkling. If you want a life that's positive, if you want a mindset that's growth oriented, if you want to move from one place to the other, you have to be really clear about what that looks like. And that's where visualization comes in. So we talked about this the other day. Sometimes we have to slow down in order to speed up. So sometimes you just have to step back, create that space for yourself where you're not doing anything, but allowing yourself to be, allowing those thoughts to start to come up. What is it that I really want to do with my life? In this particular season, where I've landed at this point, what would I like to see for myself next? Because you have to start to plant those seeds now. The harvest is typically not instantaneous. We have to plant the seeds. We have to water, nurture, fertilize, make sure it's getting the right amount of sun, right? Create the environment where those seeds can harvest. And then as you continue to walk through your life, make those decisions, the harvest will start to appear. Me and my granddaughter just planted a garden a few weeks ago, and she's so excited because she sees the first sprouts of what she created, right? And they've a couple of them have gotten big enough that I gave her new pots before I left, and I took all of her equipment over so her and her mom could keep it going. So she has bigger pots. She has good rich soil. She has her own little watering can. The only thing that she's going to grow are the particular seeds that we dropped in each pot. Maybe there's a weed that's going to spring up, but part of being a good caretaker of your garden is getting rid of the things that's going to choke out its growth, right? She may notice that some of the leaves are starting to yellow. Okay, they're getting too much water. Some of the leaves are brown. They're not getting enough water. We have to look at our lives, the garden of our lives that we've been blessed with, and see how the harvest is going. What's coming up? What condition is the fruit? Does it need something different than what it has? And that visualization, seeing yourself in that way, can allow you to really become more intentional. I need more of this. I need less of that. When I'm with these particular people, I feel energized. I feel inspired. I want to get things done. Spend more time there. When I go here, I'm drained. The environment is negative. I'm depressed. The conversation is always the same. It's not building up. It's tearing people down. It's time to move on. It's time to spend less time there if you spend any time at all. But in order to do that, you have to be very, very intentional about your resources, your time, your focus, your energy. Where are you putting them? And what is growing as a result of that? So you can easily visualize your life as it is right now. You can see it. And then you take that vision and visualize what you'd like to see it become. And then it's up to you to become very intentional about moving from point A to point B, right? Conchita says those seasons of silence always appear prior to a major harvest of manifested dreams. So be certain that your seeds are sown with the best intentions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Something's going to grow. You are creating something every day. You're nurturing something. I'm just asking you to move it from your subconscious to your conscious mind. Bring it front of mind and be aware of what you're creating. Maybe you need to record yourself. Record your conversation for a day just to hear the types of things that you say. Because we do spend so much time on autopilot, right? If you're getting feedback and you're like, I'm in this positive environment, but I still feel I just don't, I'm not getting it. I'm not connecting with it. Check your thoughts. What are you thinking? What inputs are you allowing in? What are you saying? What are you speaking over your life? Those things are more important than I'll ever have the vocabulary to articulate, but they have a profound effect on how our lives unfold. So the words we use, the thoughts that we ruminate on, where we spend our focus and our attention, all of those things matter. Kelly says changing towers. Is that a book? That sounds familiar, Kelly. Is that a book that you're recommending that supports this topic? We'll see what Kelly has to say. And thank you for being here, Kelly, as well. Welcome, Conchita. Always glad to see you, ladies. Let's see if I have missed anyone. I think I've got everybody else. Let's see. All right, so let's keep moving. Hey, Sonia says, good morning, amazing family. Virtual hugs to you. It is always good to see you. And I think if it's not this weekend, it's next weekend. It's time for me and you and Nelva to get back together again. We need to put her back in the kitchen, get some of that good food from Nelva. I think it's this weekend. So reminder, I'm traveling, so I may forget to remind her that we're coming. But we don't want to miss our girlfriend time. All right, so I do have a quote for you guys today, just like I always do. And today's quote is, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. What you think, you become. Because what you think informs what you do and what you don't do. Because you have to believe that you belong in the space that's calling you. You have to believe that you're capable of accomplishing the things that you desire. You have to believe that you deserve that dream that's been burning inside of you. So what you think will inform what you do, and what you do is going to inform how your life unfolds and who you become. But we have to back it all the way up to the mind, the mindset. That's those thoughts that we are allowing to take up space in our heads. Some thoughts need to be evicted, guys. Some thoughts are not serving you well. They are not helping you move towards your goals. So it's time to serve up that eviction notice and kick them out. You do not have space here anymore. There's no room for you. You're not welcome. And be very, very intentional about the thoughts, the actions, the conversations, the environments that you're in. The more intentional you are about those things, the more agency you take, the more control you take over your own life and how it unfolds. So the mind is everything. What you think, you become. So let me bring you in, Denise. I know you are one busy lady. Hello, Kim. Welcome, welcome. And Lita says, this is good. Thank you, Lita. And thank you for being here and engaging so much. Denise, I'd love to hear what you'd like to share on the topic.
Grand Rising and good morning.
Grand Rising, sis.
One of the things that I wanted to share with you that just came to mind while I was sitting here
Mm-hmm.
was I used to always be busy during the show, moving around. Sometimes I'd work out, always listening, having my ear on it and knowing what the topic was. But about this last maybe, I'd say month and a half, I sit and have very intentional listening. I've been doing that for a while. I don't work out until afterwards. I didn't realize until a short time ago the difference that it's made.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you can work out and you can listen. You can do, a lot of us do that. We go walking and we're listening to something and we're still getting the message. But I think in this season for me right now, that intentional listening has been blessing me more. And I feel like I'm growing more and I'm hearing more because of it. So I kind of like that. I didn't even realize that, but I wanted to share something. You said sometimes you have to evict, you got to evict thoughts. You got to evict. So you got to kick it out,
Yep.
So
Get out of here.
yesterday I was working and I carry so much paper, and I wrote a sign that says stop creating paper, and I taped it up on the wall because I write with a pen and paper, and I end up carrying that a lot with me. So I was determined yesterday. I got this little scanner. I was determined I'm going to turn some of this into digital. When I'm in a planning phase, it doesn't always work because I need to see the stuff in front of me. That's why I use the walls so much.
Mhm.
That's why I create so much paper. So I'm going through a binder that I carry everywhere. I've had this bright pink binder for years, and I open it up and I'm going through and I come across a letter that I wrote. And I wrote it kind of to myself, also writing it to God at the time. um, I was a part of a team about 2 years ago that fell apart. It was 4 people originally. There was some tension among some of the other team members. So one person bounced out. I didn't say anything. I let the person go. I had some words in my mind where I could have said, hey, you know what, you guys, I could have been a mediator. I could have been more of a coach in the moment, but I let it go. At that stage 2 years ago, I decided, no, is she grown? You ever just sit by and watch something unfold and maybe don't feel like it's your place necessarily to fix it, or you don't know what to say. So that happened. And then the other three, the remaining three of us, the other two had some issues. And again, I watched it unfold. I never said anything, and the team fell apart. I found the team ended up getting hired. We had pitched something and we got hired for a pretty big event, which was really the precursor for me getting this particular event and getting this contract that I'm on, because I learned how to do some things in
Mhm.
that team that helped me, right? It helped me grow. So in this binder, I found this letter where I wrote a part of the email out because it was such a blessing to get the email that had accepted our proposal. And what I wrote was, you know what to say. You know how to say it. It's time to speak. And I was
Mm.
reading that and I was like, what was I talking about? Because it was over a year ago. And I realized that after I did that, I prayed about it. I picked up the phone and I called the main girl. She called the other girl, who then called the fourth girl. And I talked to the group. And we came back together and made that project happen. And I was like, it wasn't time for me to speak. Even though I thought I was being negative and sitting there watching it kind of fall apart, I allowed it to happen. It wasn't time. And when we came back together, the three of them are still working together. I'm not working with them because I'm traveling and working on other projects. But I say that to say that the intention that I had then, I was being negative in my head, saying, if they just want to, those thoughts I was having, that was when I used to think like that. Well, if they want to just be all immature and let it fall apart, then let it. In my mind, I was still saying negative things, but I look at it now, and it was a growth point to read that note and say, it wasn't time for you to speak. Sometimes you need to be quiet, and you also need to evict those negative thoughts, like you just said. I mean, at time you got to evict those thoughts, but the action was good. The action to not be a part of the drama, to not pour into the negative words that were being said as people walked out the door. I decided, I ain't gonna be a part of that. But I remember my thoughts were kind of negative.
Mhm.
So I've grown in recognizing that. But the truth is that my intention to be quiet, to let the situation unfold without me adding to the negativity, was a good move, and it served the team better. So sometimes it's time to speak up, be very intentional about it. And sometimes you have to be mature enough to know when you should stand down and allow a situation to unfold until it's time for you to pour your words into it, or your action into it, or whatever your intention of positivity, to move the situation forward should be. And that just came to me just now, and I was listening to you, and I love that. Evict what you don't need anymore. Get it out of there. Kick it out. Thank y'all. I can't wait for
Pruning season.
Wednesday. Yes, yes. Pruning season. Get the weeds out. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And it'll be interesting. And those little I'm wondering, that note found you again in this season. So it evoked a memory, but I'll be surprised if that reminder is not going to serve you in something that's happening that or is about to unfold. now. That note
I hope it
resurfaced for
does.
a reason. Yeah.
I hope it does. I'm holding on to it. It has a powerful prayer on the bottom of it that I wrote there,
Oh
and
wow.
I keep stacking these papers. I keep saying don't create no new papers, but I've got an app where you can scan everything, but something about paper, for me, I can't get rid of paper.
Yeah, and that's the power of the written word, though, to find your positive message to yourself and your prayer during that season a year later, and being able to, it allows you to reflect on what that year has been, what that situation was. Hindsight is 2020, so you get to see now like you couldn't see then how everything is unfolded. So that's why journaling and capturing our thoughts and things like that can be so important. They allow us to get it out in the real time, right? Just get it out on paper, on whatever medium you use, so it's not just something that's bottled up on the inside. But then to come back to it and see it a year later, it brings about another level of understanding that you couldn't have had back then. So I'm a proponent, guys. Keep a notepad or something that you use to write. Keep that near you so that you can capture those thoughts, capture those moments. You never know when something you did a whole year ago is going to serve you today. So I think that's a lovely story, and I appreciate you sharing that, Denise. All right, Mr. Content Dadpreneur, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. Buddha. Let me grab a few comments that have come through, and then it's over to you, Brian. Kelly has some great news. She says, I got good news about my book. My publisher contacted me and told me that my book is in competition and it will be in store soon. Congratulations. That is amazing. I know how it feels to see your baby come to life and actually be able to hold it in your hand. So can't wait to learn more about your book, Kelly. She also said, This is my season. Conchita says, I agree with you, Denise, that sitting still, intentionally listening, really makes a difference in how we process the day's content. I find it even more impactful sitting outside in nature. That's awesome. And Lolita simply said, visualization. Conchita also said, Denise, we are twin flames with the paper posting. If you are a visual person, those positive paper reminders can get you through the day. Excellent, excellent, excellent shares. Thank you all for that. And Brian, it is over to you.
Hey, thanks, Cassandra. What's up,
You're
Denise?
welcome.
Grand Rising, everyone. Uh, this is an awesome conversation. I'm loving every minute of it. It's got me thinking about so many different things. And one of the things it started me to think about, which is not what I'm going to talk about, but this conversation helped me start thinking about accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Just on a, out of the blue, out of nowhere, I started thinking about how everything is left up to us. It all resorts back to us. It's your responsibility. I heard it said a couple of times in a few different ways, but it all resorts back to us. And that starts with deciding what you want, deciding how your life will frame out. If you know there's a thing that you want to do and you don't have a clear vision of what that thing is, then when obstacles pop up, this, that, and the other starts to happen, you start to frame that responsibility of it happening onto someone else. You start to project it onto someone else or something else instead of taking responsibility for it and fixing it, right? And by fixing it, I mean going forward in a new manner with new solutions, new research, new answers, so that you can take care of it. But none of that happens without deciding where you want to go. So you got to have that definite objective in place first. That's not even really what I want to talk about. Let's talk about creative imagination.
Creative imagination. Okay.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that part of your brain that works consciously in front all the time. The part that we think everything starts with. That's what everybody thinks. right? All the motion starts is with creative imagination. I did for a very long time until I got a divine download, as someone, smart and articulate I know says all the time. You get those divine downloads, and I got one, right? I got one. This has been a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And in that divine download, it came to me that creative imagination is not where it starts. That's the end of it. That's the end of it for the beginning of it for us, but that's not where it starts. Where it starts is, where it starts is those thoughts, the books that you read, the music that you listen to, the people that you talk to, the things that you tell yourself, the places that you go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
The food that you eat. That's where it starts. But that's not where it really, it's not where you really see the culmination of those things that you're thinking about, right? That's just the part that gets the part you need in place. Now that sounds, oh man, that's a lot of work. It is a process. Trust me, it's a process. So once you give that up, once you start to have that feeling, you get that kind of energy going. Then we'll call it ascending station, right? There's two different ascending stations in the universe. Two different ascending stations in the universe. You get to choose which one those messages come from that you have put into, that you have sent up a distress signal for, right? Now this is what you're going to start attracting, right? You have positive and negative. And that's part of your subconscious. The subconscious is what moves the conscious. It's what moves the creative energy, the creative imagination that sparks the conscious. But you can't do that without the subconscious figuring out which which sending station you're going to use to direct your conscious. So you have to decide. That's why there's no straddling the fence. If you go throughout your day, half in, half out, to this moment I'm positive, this moment I'm negative, you're automatically negative. The sending station that you're going to get thoughts from to control your conscience is going to be automatically negative, whether you know it or not. However long it takes for it to creep in, if you don't make a decision to be on one side of the other, a decision will be made for you, and it's not the positive. That's not how positive works. That's not how God works. Mm-mm. You have to make the decision to let that in. That's that auto suggestion you got to put in place every single day. That's those thoughts. That's those books. That's the food. And even when it gets rough and difficult, your creative imagination at this point has already set that dream for you in place. That dream was in place for you long before you got here. You just have to open yourself up to get that peace, to get that peace that gets you going to put this process in place. It's not hard, but it does take some work. But that's what we were put down here for, right? It wasn't to have a good time. We were put down here to work. So get your mind right and get to work. That's it.
Get your
That's all.
mind right. Get your mind right and get to work. Those are good instructions. I'll take them. I like that. Get your mind right and get to work. Everybody put that in your spirit today. I'm going to make sure that I'm operating as my best self. And to do that, I have to start with my inner thoughts. I have to get my mind right so that the work that I do is the work that is going to get me the results that I'm working towards. If we just if we're just blindly going about doing, that busy state of life, we work, we get a lot of stuff done. We're moving from thing to thing to thing, task to task. We're busy, but are we productive? Are we producing the harvest that we desired, right? Were we mindful about the seeds that we grabbed and we dropped and that we cultivated? Because they are going to show, they're going to come forth. And if what's coming forth is not what you desire, it's within your control to change that, right? You can become intentional. You can visualize what it is that you really want to do and how you really want to show up and the life that you'd like to create. Get that vision clear, not only in your mind, but in all of your senses. And then once you can see it clearly, it's just a matter of action, building that plan to get there. And we're all capable. We've all done it in one form, one area of our lives or another. So those skills that you use on the job to get those things done, the skills that you use in your business to get the things done, the skills that you use in your relationship to make them strong, identify what those skills are and make sure you're applying them in the aspects of your life that you'd like to improve, like you'd like to see transformation. We all have a skill set. That's why when we talk about SOAR, we begin with our strengths. The essence SOAR is strengths. We have to identify what those strengths are. What when you come to the table, what are you bringing with you? If you don't know that, you don't know what your value is. If you don't know what your value is, you don't believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, all the goal setting in the world is not going to go anywhere because you don't trust that you can have it or that you deserve it anyway. So we get all the way back to what we're thinking and what we're believing. No matter where we start, the root of it comes back to that. It keeps coming back to the same place. So we have to be able to, without judgment and honestly evaluate where we are and what we're doing. And if you're happy with the results that you're getting, dig in, get rooted in that and do more of it. If you'd like to see something change, be real clear about what that change is. Go all the way to the end. What does it look like to be successful in this space? And then figure out the plan to get what you're visualizing. That visualization will really, really help you be more intentional. Make your yeses be powerful, make your nos be meaningful so that you're creating the life that you desire and you're not just reacting to the things that crop up. The places in my life where I'm reactionary are the places where I'm the least happy, right? We never get it 100% right. I don't care what nice visuals I give you, what little nuggets or gems I drop. I am a work in progress every single day. There are places in my life that I haven't mastered and I'm reactionary. And those are the places in my life where I'm the most frustrated, where I get the least amount of joy, where I feel like I'm not in control or I'm not making good decisions for me, right? I'm reacting to somebody else's stuff or whatever the case may be. You have to have those conversations with yourself and gain that clarity because without it, you can't ever move forward. You're stuck in that spot that's causing you the most angst. I'm real clear about where that angst is. In some cases, I'm not clear yet about what I'm going to do about it, but I'm aware of it and I'm working towards getting that visualization of what success looks like. I go through these processes, guys, all the time. That's why I talk about them. You guys are not showing up to hear some musing from an expert who's figured it all out. You can consider this a movie. You guys are witnessing the unfolding of my life in real time. And I share those experiences in hopes that it'll short circuit some of the distress that you may experience. I've been through a lot. I figured some things out, but I'll never get it so right that there's nothing left for me to do. So we just talk about the stuff that I'm doing. Sometimes we talk about it head on. Sometimes we talk about it in a more abstract way. But the things that you guys are going through and experiencing on some level, so am I. On some level, whoever it is that you think, whose book you read, whose movie you watched, whose seminar you went to, if they're not telling you that they're still going through stuff and they're working it out, they're either fooling themselves or they're trying to fool everybody else. We're all going through things. I just like to talk about it and share how it unfolded because that gives my life meaning. I don't want to waste any trauma or any drama that I have to go through. I don't want to go through stuff just for the sake of going through it. If I can get to the other side and we have a conversation about it, I'm real intentional about sharing it because it may be beneficial to somebody else. I don't want it to be for nothing, right? The things that I've gone through have a purpose, and that makes me able to look at my life in a much different way, with a much more joy, right? I didn't go through that for nothing. I'm able to share these things with my children. I'm able to talk to a friend about how they might be able to traverse something that's tripping them up right now. That's meaningful for me, right? That gives me value. What's meaningful for you? What gives you value? If you don't know the answer to that, it's time to dig deeply in the visualization space and see yourself powerful, see yourself successful, see yourself purposeful, see yourself living the life that you desire. What are you doing? What does it look like? What does it feel like? How emotional are you on the other side of that thing? What emotions are coming up? Start to gather that information first in your mind, and not just the information but the actual experience. Immerse yourself in it first in your mind, and then as you do that, then you can start to see how you can get there. That visualization will also give you the ideas on how do I go from where I am right now to where it is I'd like to be. Oh, I know somebody who's already accomplished that. So let me talk to them about their journey. You're going to take in some new information from somebody who's already walked the walk. You know what? I heard about this book where they lay out this thing, and that might be really useful to me. So I'm going to read that book, right? I'm going to get in my quiet space and I'm going to pray, or I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to just be and see what comes up. You have to get a plan that allows you to see what you want. There's no way you're going to even know if you have it if you haven't identified what it is. So spend that time, get visualized, get clear. And then once you're clear, it's time to be very, very intentional. Do you have the things that you want? If not, get mad. Get mad. Mad will take you from where you are to where you want to be. I don't mean mad as in lose your mind. I don't mean mad as in get angry. Anger is debilitating. Anger is emotionally focused, and it's focused on what's going on right now, not on the outcome. But when you get mad, that means I refuse to continue to operate the way I'm operating and produce the things that I'm producing. Now I'm ready to do something different. I'm motivated. That's the M in mad. I'm motivated. I have determined in my mind that I'm ready to do something different. And then you have to be accountable. Brian was talking about accountability. Who are you accountable to first? The reflection in the mirror. Teach yourself that you can trust yourself, that you follow through on the things that you say you're going to do. And then who's in your corner? Who can you trust with your dream, with your heart, with your most transparent, vulnerable self? Who's that person that you know is in your corner and want to see you win? Let them know what you're working on. And that becomes your accountability partner who's going to walk this journey with you. Become a part of a good community, right? You're a part of the peripherals of a community right now because you show up in this space every day. But we actually have an off platform community that meets and talks about these things. They get daily affirmations. They're a part of a more in depth, they get more drenched in, more saturated in the things that we're talking about. The SOAR Collective. Be a part of a community that's going to help you maintain that motivation and not just be motivated, because that's all emotional. That's all planning. Accountability is locking it in, and then you have to be disciplined. That D is the final frontier, because that discipline is going to help you do the things that you need to do when you don't feel like doing them. It's going to help you make those steps when you really just want to sit down, lay down, go put your head under the covers. I'm done. Your discipline will say, no, you're not. We still have work to do. Get up, take that next step. It's not enough to be motivated. People are motivated all the time. They get excited in a moment, and then you get back to whatever it was you were doing, and the motivation dissipates. So that accountability partner will remind you and help you keep going, but it's your discipline that's going to be the thing that moves you forward when nobody's looking. Your discipline is what's going to help you make the right decision when there's nobody around, to make you take that next step when everything within you is saying, let's call it a day. I want you to get mad. I want to create a movement of people that are just so mad that everything that they want will become what they have, because they won't stop until they get it. They're motivated, they're accountable, and they're disciplined. There's no reason why that can't be you. It is you if you decide to allow the power in you to wake up and you lead from that space. Motivated, accountable, disciplined. Tell yourself that every day. I'm motivated. I'm accountable. I'm disciplined. Coach Primes, he had a whole social media sensation where he was saying, I wake up motivated. I wake up motivated. And he went on, I want to touch somebody, help somebody, heal. And he had this whole thing. People used that audio for months because it was so inspiring. But how do you wake up? Do you wake up motivated? Do you wake up grateful? Do you wake up determined? Do you wake up accountable? Do you wake up purposed in your mind that you're going to do the things that you've set out for your day? Have you set out anything for your day? It's still early. What do you intend to do with this day that you've been gifted with? Get real clear before you make a move. Get really clear about what you are going to do with today. That clarity sets the tone and creates the space for your yeses and nos for the rest of the day. Here's where I'm going to spend my time. Here's what I'm purposed in my heart. This is what I'm intentional about. And so everything outside of that is a no. And everything inside of that is a heck yes. Let's get it done. Intentionality makes your life more focused, right? Makes it easier for you to make decisions. So visualize what it is that you desire and then get intentional about actually creating that. And when you look around and you don't have the things in your life that you like, when you look around and things are not going as you would like for them to go, it's not time to be depressed. It's not time to be hard on yourself. It's not time to give up. It's time to get mad, get motivated, become accountable, and be disciplined. And if you do those three things, there's no way. There's no way you're not going to be successful. There's no way you're not going to move closer and closer to the life that you desire until you've got it right there in the palm of your hands. And you're living it every single day. And you look around and you can't believe that this is your life. Like, I remember when there wasn't enough food. I remember when there wasn't running water in the kitchen. I remember when I didn't know how I was going to get to the places I needed to go. I remember when I didn't know how the bills were going to get paid. I remember when I was alone and lonely. I remember when I didn't believe in myself. I remember, but I don't live there anymore. I got mad over and over and over again. And every time I got mad in every aspect of my life improved. My life changed for the better because I was taking accountability for where it was. It wasn't about what somebody else did or didn't do. It wasn't about my history. It wasn't about my humble beginnings. It was about right now what I'm willing to do to take the reins to turn my life in a different direction. Get mad. I encourage you to get mad and to stay mad and to have your eye on the prize. Know what it is that you're working for and don't stop until you get there. All right, a lot of comments have come in. Let me recognize Betty. Thank you for joining. Hey, Sierra, my beautiful firstborn. There's Dawn that's with us. Thank you guys for joining. Let's take a look at what everyone has been saying. Kelly says, I'll be moving soon out of my apartment. I'm waiting to hear back from the landlord to move out, so I will be able to get outside soon. too. Being able to get outside, I know that's a personal goal for you ever since you had your medical situation, and you're taking the fact that you have had that conversation with the landlord, that you're making those plans. That's what being mad will do. I'm not going to stay in this situation. I'm not going to stay in a place that doesn't allow me to physically get where it is that I need to go. So what do I need to do in order to change my circumstance? And then you get busy doing that. My mom says, "All right, Mr. Content." So she's clapping. I know that was a while ago that you spoke, Brian, but she felt what you were putting down. Kelly says, "Thank you. I needed to hear that." Conchita, divine download today, Brian. Powerful takeaways. Creative imagination tied into the sending agent, positive or negative. God created us all with free will to decide. My mom said, "That's right, daughter. Yes, those skills and strengths are your gifts." Kelly says, "Everyone says I am a strong person." Kelly, I want to ask you, what do you say? Because everybody told me all kinds of positive stuff about me my whole life. But until I believed it within myself, it really didn't matter what they said. It just kind of fell away. And I would excuse it away. I would rebut and say something different. So make sure that the number one person that says Kelly is a strong person is Kelly. And as long as Kelly believes that, anything and everything that you want to do, you'll build a plan to make that happen. My mom says, "That's right, daughter. Everyone is going through something." Absolutely. Conchita, that has been the greatest benefit of the SOAR Collective for me, is to identify personal strengths that I was totally unaware of and the courage to put them into action. Thanks to Cassandra and the fam, Denise and Brian. Thank you for sharing that, because that is literally the purpose. So to know that you've been affected that way, is really, really moving for me. I'm not sure who LinkedIn user is, but you said, "Wow, that hit the heart." And good morning, Coach Terry and everyone. You are dropping gems and giving assignments this morning. I came in at the right time with raised hands. So LinkedIn user who said that, whoever you are, drop me your name so I know who you are and that you're with us. My family and everyone said that I was so funny that I need to be a comedian. My godmother, LOL, says that I'm Bernie Mac funny, but I told them I had my stroke, that it messes my speech. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. It already is in my visual. Kelly, you are capable of anything that you are able to visualize. I've seen people with all kinds of different abilities as comedians and things, doing things in life that you would never think that they would be able to do. But and it begins in the mind. So if you've got the vision, you're so much closer than you were before. So keep visualizing, keep believing, and then start to build that plan and ask yourself, what's the most impactful thing I can do today to move myself towards that goal? And ask yourself that tomorrow and every other day to come. And if you're just doing one thing that's going to move you closer to that goal, you are making fantastic progress. Betty Luke says, "Good morning." Good morning, beautiful Betty. Thank you for joining. Kelly says, "I want to join the community. What do I need to do?" And then LinkedIn user says, "Deep, mad," and gave us some applause. Um, Good morning, Sierra. Good morning, Barbara. I have not seen you in quite a while. It is great to have you with us. Um, my mom said, "Daughter, that's the exact question I wanted to ask Kelly. What do you say or think about you?" LinkedIn user is Joy. Hey, fam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you are here. Kim Graf says, "I am mad. It feels good to finally admit it. LOL. All kidding aside, I have loved the acronym from the moment you said it. Mad." And Conchita says, "Yes, Kim, you are the mad mascot. LOL." So thank you guys so much for all of that sharing. It brings so much more positivity into the space, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to give you guys just 4 steps today, and then I'm going to move on and get into convention mode. But I did want to share a little bit with you about how you can expand your intentionality with visualization. So the first actionable step is a visualization script. So Denise really kind of touched on this morning accidentally when she was talking about her finding the note that she had written to herself. Well, a visualization script is actually taking that vision and writing it out in as much detail as possible, and beginning each day reading it. You may be having a hard time in the middle of your day. Grab your script and read it. It will reconnect you with your goals, your desires, the life that you're trying to build, and it gives you that visual reminder. And in reading it, you can hear yourself in your own voice, and write it in now, as if you already have the things that you are working for. It's important to start claiming that, speaking that over your life right now. Not I'm going to do something, but I am. I have. I am this. I am that. I have created this. I have accomplished that. Go ahead and write it out what that vision is, and start your day by reading that. Steve Harvey did a thing a few years ago where it was called the 300 things that you're asking God for. And he encouraged people to just start writing until you got to a list of 300 things that you were desiring. And he called it the 300 things I'm asking God for. And you write that list out. The beginning of the list is easy. You know those things that you really want. Do you want a new house? Do you want to reconcile with somebody? Some things that are really front of mind for you. But after you get past those first maybe 20 things or so, it makes you really start to think and go, what do I really desire for my life? And it took me places that I never imagined I would go. It had me realizing I want to hold conferences. I want to do seminars. I want to do, face-to-face training sessions, and all of these things that I desired that were deep, very deep. I'm at the tip of that iceberg, right? I can see it poking through by showing up here every day, by writing a little bit more of it started to show when I produced my book. Having those challenges, a little bit more of it is poking, and I can see it. But at the end of it all, when the vision really came to light, there was this whole seminar, a, a weekend thing like I'm at right now, 2 or 3 days, different breakout sessions, keynote speakers, how we were going to start the day with positivity and visualization, what I wanted people to take away from it came to mind in an instant. Something that I had not even ever thought about before, that not, at least not that I was aware of. And the whole thing and how it was supposed to shape up came to me. And I was able to write it down and remember it. And I can see myself progressing towards it with every yes that I take in this space. Every time I give a speech, every time I get to be interviewed, whatever it is, it's all moving me towards that ultimate vision that I was given when I was working on those 300 things. It is powerful, guys, to gain clarity on what it is you desire. And you will be amazed at how the things will crop up that starts to move you towards that vision once it's clear for you. So writing that script is a great place for you to start. If you don't want to write the script, you can do this instead, or you can do them both and work with them in conjunction. And that's the sensory future self letters. You want to write a letter to your future self about your senses, how you feel, how excited you are, how proud you are of you for accomplishing whatever it is that you've accomplished. So if I'm writing my letter, I'm not writing, I'm going to be so excited when I have my conference. No, dear Cassandra, girl, you did it. I am so excited about how that conference went and all the things that we were able to accomplish. People's lives were changed. You've reached a new season, a new level in your communication. You're able to reach a larger audience and get your message out to people who really need it. So I'm writing my letter as if this thing has already happened, and I'm celebrating myself within that letter. Again, tying your emotions to what it's going to feel like to accomplish whatever it is that you're going for. So, Kelly, see yourself outside. See yourself enjoying nature, taking in the sunshine. How does that feel? What are you doing? Write that letter to Kelly in the future, and congratulate her on accomplishing all that she set out to do. You can also create visualization affirmations, and that's you speaking out loud. Sometimes, y'all, there is nothing like hearing your own voice, the praise, the support, the love of self. So write those affirmations. I am a strong communicator. I am reaching the masses. I am getting my message out and lives are changed. I'm a part of a movement that is teaching people how to live the life that they really desire, how to find that life, how to identify what they really want, how to build a plan to get there, and how to get it done. More people are moving from to do to done because they're showing up for the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. That's an affirmation. That's believing in what you're doing. And all of you have that thing or those things that you're doing that make a difference in your community, in whatever, whoever it is that you're reaching out to. And you find that thing, value that thing, and build those affirmations around it so you can continue to grow it and do more of it. And then lastly, intention setting with visualization anchors. I think I introduced visualization anchors yesterday. And those are like the symbols we talked about, something that's visual, except it's something in your space, right? So I've got a water bottle next to me. Let's say that I'm visualizing a healthy, well nourished, well rested Cassandra, right? She is at her ideal weight. She's full of energy, and she is out there taking the world by storm, just getting stuff done. I can make a part of that visualization this water bottle. So every time I see a water bottle, because it's a part of the visualization of the best me, every time I see that water bottle, I can be reminded of what I'm working towards. I'm not going to be reminded by looking at a Dr. Pepper bottle, right? That's going to be the antithesis of everything that I'm trying to accomplish. Every time I take in that caffeine, every time I drink that brown devil that I love so much, I am moving towards a less healthy self, a less energized self, a less capable self. So that water bottle is reminding me of who I am and who I want to be and how I want to nourish my body so that I can do all the things that I want to do. Make sense? So it could be anything. You know, if you want to hit the stage and you see yourself as a superstar, maybe you grab a some figure that's in the shape of a star and you keep it around. And every time you see a star, you see yourself on the stage, taking the world by storm. You want to be a best-selling author? Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a pen, maybe it's your laptop, but there's something visual that takes you there. And then when you're setting your intentions, you focus on that thing to make sure that you're setting intentions that align with the goals that you have set for yourself, align with what that visual is provoking in you, so that you align all of your thoughts, your actions, everything is aligned with that goal, that way of life that you have set for yourself. So those are the four: the visualization script, the sensory future self letters, visualization affirmations, and intention setting with visualization anchors. So hopefully those will help you guys think a little bit differently. We do talk about the same things over and over again, but there's no reason to talk about it the same way. We want to try different ways. We want to keep going deeper. If you've done the journaling, if you're already writing, maybe now the next level is to get that visual anchor to tie it with your writing so that it helps you to go deeper in your thinking. That Brian uses the word ascension all the time, right? We want to keep taking more and more of this, applying more and more of this in our lives, so that it's not just a conversation, but it becomes a way of life. And that new way of life opens up new opportunities for us to experience our life to the fullest. Let's see, some few more comments have come in. Oh, that's Denise. Thank you, Denise. Let's see. Lita says, I've been in a low place for so long, but now I'm mad and moving obstacles that have prevented me from growing. Now that's a testimony, right? I'm mad right now. I'm removing obstacles right now that stand between me and the life that I desire. Lolita, keep saying that to yourself all day, every day. And you will move, you will see those obstacles. You will be able to move them more efficiently. And before you know it, the life that you're working towards will be the exact life that you're living and beyond. You'll blow your own self away. It's like, I was just trying to get here. I'm so much farther than I even imagined this time last year. So just keep on keeping on. Barbara says, I love when I get time to join your chat. Love your insights. Thank you, Barbara. It's always great to see you. I love it when you are able to be here as well. Thank you, Denise. Denise put all the steps in the chat so you guys can see those as well. Kim says, I'm with you, Cassandra. Coke and Dr. Pepper. So hard, but so worth it. Absolutely. And then Conchita says the vision board party on Saturday was an excellent visualization anchor for me and reminded me of dreams I had forgotten. And the vision board itself, there's your anchor. It has your current dreams, the things that you're working towards, how you want to show up, and y'all put powerful words, beautiful pictures, all in one place that you can sit with on a regular basis and be reminded of where you're going. So when you set your daily intentions, Conchita, have that board nearby, or at least in your mind's eye, see that board so you make sure that you're setting those intentions that are going to align with what you're trying to accomplish. Um, Barbara Garcia says, I always visualize, but I never do visualization writing. I'm going to do that. Yay! I love it, Barbara. And if you are so inclined, let us know at some point in time, or drop me a message. Let me know how it's going. If the visualization writing is deepening your ability to visualize and really see and accomplish your goals, I would love to hear about that. And think about those anchors as well. What is it that you can grab hold of visually that's going to help you remember what you're working towards and really set those intentions? All right. I think we have done it, guys. We have made it through another Wake Up Wednesday. We've talked about the powerful intentionality with visualization. The more you visualize, the more capable you are of being intentional and driving your life in the direction that you desire. I will throw the quote up one more time just to remind you guys, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. So imagine you visualizing yourself winning, visualizing yourself happy, visualizing yourself accomplishing your goals and having the life that you desire. And you feel it, you see it, you smell it, you taste it, you hear it. Get all of those senses involved so that your visualization is permeating your entire being and you see yourself in that space clearly. And once you do that, it's time to roll up the sleeves, take a step back, and create the plan. Create the plan, and then get busy doing the actions that are going to take you there. The clearer you see it, the more likely you are to accomplish it. Let's see. Conchita says, thanks, Denise, for the post. Yes, Cassandra, I have the board right next to my SOAR certificate. All right. I love that. I love that. And your picture of you holding your SOAR certificate is actually on our website now. So your face is famous, Conchita. All right. Let's see. I think we've covered everything. I want to remind you guys about this getting your SOAR score. If you don't know what that is, I created an assessment several months ago that allows you just answer a few questions and it gives you some immediate feedback on where you fall on the SOAR scale. SOAR is identifying strengths, overcoming limits, achieving goals, and building a resilient mindset. And those stack on top of each other, right? You need to know what your strengths are, right? In order to overcome any limits that are in your life. Is it negative self-talk? Is it an environment that's not healthy? You lean on those strengths to move you out of that limiting thinking and that limiting space. And once you've done those two things, then and only then, you're really in a place to start to create some goals and achieve those goals. And once you've got those first three mastered, you are now focused on your resilience and your ability to bounce back as life's and continue to move forward and overcome whatever shows up. But you're in that cycle where your strengths are informing you and helping you remove whatever obstacles show up. Then you're building goals to move from where you are to the next place. And by default, you are building a resilient mindset. You are living a life that is anchored in your resilience. So that's SOAR. And in order to know what your SOAR score is, you want to go to iwannasoar.com, or you can go to thevoicewithinwins.com and you'll see the SOAR challenge. You want to take that SOAR assessment. It's just a few short questions. You'll get some feedback that'll give you a score. And that SOAR score has assessment results associated with it that'll help you know where you are on that scale, what you should be focusing on now to firm up that foundation and move you forward, and prepare you to move forward to that next level in life. And that's what I use to personalize all the things, any training, any sessions that you have with me. If you're doing a vision board party, if you're participating in a challenge, whatever it is, knowing that SOAR score allows you to personalize what's going on and focus in the area where you want to firm up, and prepare to elevate to next. So get your SOAR score. Go to iwannasoar.com, get that score, and then we need to have a conversation about how you can take that score and use it to elevate and transform your life. So you guys, please join us there, and come back to me when you have your score. What does Kelly say? Yes, ma'am. Just got my goal of doing 100 arm shoulder stretches today. I can't believe that I just got it done. Congratulations. Even if if you break it down 10 at a time, 20 at a time, and if you start at 10, the next time can you do 12? And we keep getting stronger and stronger in our physical bodies, in our mental bodies, in our emotional bodies. What Kelly is talking about is what we can apply. Baseline, start where you can, build up that strength there, and then you keep getting better and better, doing more and more until you reach your goals. And that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. It's not rocket science. That is how it's done. We start where we start and we improve from there. We iterate. So that is it for today, guys. I will be back tomorrow for Thankful Thursday. I don't think I'm going to have to do a replay. I think we'll be able to be live. So I'll see you all back here at 7:15 a.m. Central for Thankful Thursday tomorrow. And just remember to go to iwannasoar.com and get that SOAR score. Other than that, I'm off to the races to enjoy DC and the rest of my day. And I'll see you all back here tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, guys. Thank you.